Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today we'll be covering our European river cruises, tours through mainland Europe, as well as some of our cruise partner opportunities like the American Queen, Princess, and Holland America cruise lines. My name's Will Reece. I'm the marketing rep for AFC Vacations, and we're very excited for a full year of travel coming up. It's been amazing to see the amount of guaranteed departures, so full tours ready to go out the door. And again, the next step after their guaranteed tour is that they sell out. So please don't wait. These trips are going fast this year and people are booking earlier and earlier. But in terms of what we're talking about today, Europe has really boomed in the last 2 years, and we've seen a large number of travelers head across the pond to the magic of a European vacation. There's so much rich history and culture as well as architecture on display that far surpasses our nation's history. Areas that have been seeing inhabitants, construction, and society for over 2,000 years. And whether it's the Acropolis in Athens, the abbeys of Ireland, or the cathedrals of Italy, we have something for everyone with our unique, fun-filled, and active itineraries. So let's get started, and we'll introduce you to AFC. So we offer worldwide tours and cruises, whether it's train trips, our national parks tours by motor coach, European adventures like I'll talk about today, as well as our European river cruise charters. We have a lot of variety in the tours that we offer. We also offer great Unpack Once tours, and those are trips that have one hotel stays, so you unpack your suitcase for your entire length of the trip. And that's also incorporated with our river cruise tours. It's a great feature and allows you to really come to your destination and make it a vacation. So what's included with an AFC tour? First and foremost, our tours include round-trip airfare from most gateways. And if that gateway is not listed in our brochure, you can always call and talk to Dave in our air department if you don't see your hub. We include home pickup if you're within 40 miles of your airport. And home pickup is a huge advantage to you as a traveler to make things easier to get to and from the airport. We're also offering our home pickup credit. And that means if you make your own arrangements to and from the airport, your final payment will be reduced by $100 per person. And that's a great and easy way to save money, especially if you share a ride with someone. Our tour managers are the best in the industry. They're very helpful and organized, and they truly do, I say this every time, but they truly do care about you and your experience on the road. And so where we stay, we have fantastic hotels, very quality properties, and great locations all around the world. Fun-filled activities that we incorporate, inclusive sightseeing, and some memorable meals with cultural activities included. Then, in terms of what we offer on our specific tours, one of the great features that we offer is our booking guarantees. So we have guaranteed departures. Those are tours that are basically ready to go out the door. So you'll see the symbol GD in the brochure and on the show. And that means we have enough passengers on that departure date to run. As we move through 2024, you'll see more of these programs going to guaranteed status. The next step after they go to guaranteed status is that they sell out. So if you're interested in specific dates and itineraries, please don't wait to book. We also offer guaranteed pricing. And that means once you deposit onto your tour, your price is locked in. So even as fuel prices change for motor coaches and river cruise ships, in 2022, we were sent a $10,000 fuel surcharge from one of our river cruises, and we absorb that cost. That doesn't get passed on to our travelers. So that's what you can expect with us. And then one of the other offers that we have available is fantastic travel protection, and that has a cancel for any reason benefit. So a really great feature and especially important to book your travel insurance with your deposit. Now, what's new for 2024? First and foremost is our Travelers Club. And this is a loyalty program that we've recently introduced. So once you book on a 2024 tour or European river cruise, you're automatically enrolled. And if you book your next tour within 18 months, you're automatically receiving $100 off that next tour. And it continues on down the line. So each trip you book, the next one you'll receive $100 off. So it's a very great feature, a real great savings to folks, and something to reward your loyalty to traveling with AFC Vacations. We also offer a refer a friend credit. So if you refer a friend to travel with AFC, Once they've traveled, your next tour is $100 off. So easy way to save money there and incorporate your friends into the travel experience. And then our early booking savings. This is one of the greatest ways to save money. So being one of the first to book is a great way to save. If you're one of the first 20 to book, you save the most amount in terms of quantity. If you're the 21st through 40th passenger to book on a tour, you save a little bit less, but you're still saving money there. So it definitely pays to book early and often. A lot of people ask me what the average size of our tours and groups are, about 30 in general, but they max out at about 50 or so with our full motor coaches. And something else that's brand new, actually, it's just been released as our brand new website. And so you can go on afcvacations.com today and see all the updates that are available now. So new features and easy to use access, simplified tabs to make finding your trips a little bit quicker. And you can find your trip quicker with the Find Your Vacations feature. So you can choose whether it's US, Canada, international, or European river cruises and go straight to what you're looking for. So things are updated. We're more modern these days, and we've created a great website for you as well. When it comes to who we really are, our company is really about real people and real service. So we have a fantastic staff in our office with over 130 years combined experience in the travel industry. And we've been working at this since 1982. So over 42 years of travel experience from our company specifically. We offer consumer protection through our partnership with the USTOA, that's the United States Tour Operators Association. And we're a member brand of one of about 50 tour operators in the country to be a part of this. And they offer a $1 million Traveler's Assistance Program. As I mentioned before, always great to also incorporate travel protection in your tour planning. So trip insurance, and we have that available to you as well. So in terms of our first departures that I'll talk about, just a quick rundown of our mystery vacations. These are 5 days in length and generally run from about $2,000 or so per person. They're fantastic itineraries with a lot of fun-filled activities incorporated, and they go all over the country. But specifically, we have one departure, which is August 18th, and that is an international tour. So these are fun in the way that they're set up. You'll get a packet about 3 weeks prior to departure, and that has all the information about when your pickup's going to be and where you're flying out of. Now, once you get to the destination, you're met by your tour manager, and they unveil components along the way. So it's a great guessing game and a lot of fun for folks that don't need all the details and like to go with the flow. In talking about some of our fantastic European river cruise charters with AFC, there's a lot of great benefits to booking these, and we have generally about 3 or 4 departures each year, and that'll continue to grow as the interest continues to increase, and 2 of them are already close to being sold out completely, and they have multiple dates on them, so that's pretty impressive. In terms of what these ships offer, they are small ships, and they vary completely from ocean cruises, in that generally there's about 120 to 160 passengers per ship versus the thousands and thousands that are on board those ocean cruises. So it's a little bit more intimate, about 60 to 80 cabins in total, depending on the ship and size. And then what it really does is it combines the intimacy and sightseeing of a motor coach tour and the convenience and dining of an ocean cruise. So all of our meals are incorporated on board the ship, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They often have some great snacks as well in the middle of the day. And then one of the excellent features that we offer is free Wi-Fi on board all of our cruises. We incorporate free wine, beer, and soft drinks included with all of our dinners. And then there's nightly entertainment on board, whether it's the musicians or the cruise director giving you some talks about the next day's activities, as well as some trivia and different games that we play on board. So fantastic musicians and great entertainment there. And then our tours are very inclusive with sightseeing excursions. A lot of wonderful day trips out and about, whether it's Salzburg or down the Danube. A lot of excellent tours. And then the Douro, which I'll talk about today, going down into Salamanca, Spain. So wonderful features. And then one of the great values we also offer is that we have tour directors on board as well. And we offer English-only charters, so all English-speaking staff. And then not only do we have the cruise director, but the tour directors are there to help you and maximize your experience. And they help you each step of the way from the airport on through the cruise experience. So a lot of benefits there. The first departure I'll talk about real quick is our Normandy, Paris, and the Seine River cruise. Now, this is a great European river cruise journey, and it's one of my highlighted experiences for the year as it combines this great American history from World War II, along with some of the small villages and towns of Normandy, and some larger cities as well in Rouen and Paris. Now, this is a program that only has about 1 to 2 cabins remaining on each departure. Each one of them is guaranteed, and again, just a limited amount of space on our river cruises at this point, so please don't wait to book as they are going fast. I only do about 1, maybe 2 trips a year now. I used to be a full-time tour director, but I've chosen the October 29th departure to take out, and we just have 1 or 2 cabins on that date as well. But some highlights are a full city tour of Paris. We go up and do a walking tour of Rouen, famous for Joan of Arc, and then up into the Normandy coast where we do a full day tour of the D-Day beaches, including Omaha Beach and the American Cemetery. And then really a highlight for a lot of people that they don't expect is Etretat. And this is out on the Normandy coast with these beautiful archways out over the ocean. So really great features on board, and this is on board the Amadeus Diamond, renovated in 2019. Our Vienna and Christmas markets of the Danube cruise is an incredible journey as well. And this highlights a special time of year to be in Germany. And there's a magic in Europe at that time of year with the Christmas markets opening in late November each year. And these markets are filled with beautiful ornaments, great holiday gifts for family and friends, as well as some incredible food and drink. So whether it's the giant German pretzels, bratwurst, hot chocolate, or mulled red wine, that's called Glühwein, it's a lot of excellent features in the markets in each of the towns, and they're slightly different with local specialties. So we travel from Frankfurt to our endpoint in Vienna on this wonderful cruise, and we're on board the Amadeus Cara, which is fairly new, built in 2022, so very minimally used. And just like with Normandy, only a handful of cabins left on our December 2nd departure. It's almost sold out, about 4 to 5 cabins remaining. And so we have free wine, beer, and soft drinks on board for our dinners, free Wi-Fi on this cruise as well. But so many great city tours, as well our full day excursion optional tour down to Salzburg. And then the Melk Abbey is also another beautiful feature. A couple of optional tours. We do the Schönbrunn Palace, as well as the fantastic symphony in Vienna. So great music incorporation. And then Regensburg is home to a number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And then, of course, in Vienna, our great city tour, seeing the cathedral and all it has to offer. But wonderful program, 9 days and 18 meals incorporated. Now, getting to one of the tours and cruises that we have the most amount of space in, and that is our October 28th river cruise on the highlights of the Douro with Spain. Now, we've actually added space, so added another departure date, so October 28th and November 4th to maximize your ability to travel with us. So this magnificent cruise and tour has so much to offer. I've spent time on numerous rivers throughout Europe, and the Douro has to be one of the most scenic and stunning of them all. This cruise departs October 28th, and then something specific on the November 4th departure I wanted to point out is that we have a single supplement savings, and that is up to 50% off the single supplement on our November 4th departure. So if you travel as a single and you like your own cabin, that's a great feature, specifically on November 4th. But our main highlights will be the Mateusz Palace, built in the 1700s, Salamanca, Spain, with the beautiful main square, and Cathedral in Salamanca, and then one of the oldest universities in the entire world. And we also include tours to Lamego and a port wine tasting in Porto. Our 3-night optional extension takes you to Lisbon, Fatima, Óbidos, and Nazaré, with guided tours throughout. And like all of our river cruises, we include free Wi-Fi on board this ship. The Douro River Cruise also offers a special feature, and that's an open bar. So your domestic wines, beers, and liquor is available without cost. If you order a premium drink, that would be charged to your onboard account. On board, you'll also have the chance to enjoy some wonderful local entertainment. And at 3 ports of call, we invite performers on board to dazzle you with fado, flamenco, and folklore dance and music. We'll spend 2 nights in Porto on board the ship, and Porto is the transportation hub for this incredible fortified port wine. Now, with this cruise, we work our way up the river and towards Spain, and then take the motor coach up into Salamanca. So here we have a little bit of a clip to show you just how fantastic this river really is. So just a wonderful experience overall, great opportunity to travel and get to see so much beauty along the river. So in terms of the ship we'll be on, we'll travel on the Amalia Rodriguez. That was built in 2019 specifically for the Douro River. And this is specific because of the locks and passages are much smaller than those on the Danube and Rhine. The ship has 4 decks, a wonderful lounge, and a great sun deck to explore as we cruise along the river. On the sun deck is also a pool if the day's nice out. So one thing I will say is that Category C and I believe Category D are already sold out. And like many of our other trips, these cabins will go fast. This is specifically to the October 28th departure. But these cabins specifically on our river cruises go quickly, and especially the suites. So limited amount of suites with only 2 junior suites and 2 full-size suites available towards the back half of the upper deck. Now, all cabins, including suites, have a flat screen TV, private bathroom with shower, hairdryer, phone desk, chair, and safe. And categories A, B, and C have French balconies and vary between about 129 to 145 square feet. There are only 4 Category D and 2 Category E cabins on the ship as a whole. So if you're looking for the lowest cost to those options are pretty limited. Please don't wait. This cruise is one of the most popular trips in Portugal. Another great feature on this ship is the large water jug in each of the cabins, and that's for your use free of charge, and it's refillable in the lounge water station. You can also refill any day use water bottles that you bring from home to take on your excursions and save on plastics. Like with all of our cruises, we have whisper systems, which are the headsets for each of the tours, and these are a great way to make sure you can hear each guide. So we'll start our journey in Porto, and the city of Porto is spectacular both during the day and at night. And we have a city tour with the highlights of Porto, including the spectacular stock exchange. And we have a second visit to Porto included with the Porto by night tour. And that's where you get to see the city all lit up in the evening. Now, as part of our city tour, we take you to one of the many port houses. And until 1986, port could only be exported from Portugal outside of Porto. Now, that's a place where you get to try the white and red ports in many different styles like Ruby, Tawny, and Reserve. And many of the port producers still have bottles on display from the 1800s. So since port is a fortified wine with higher alcohol content that can age longer and develop more over time. So it's a great treat to bring home to friends and family or have shipped. So in the middle, that's a shot of Matt Kennel, our president, and myself at one of the port tastings. We got to go out and check out this river cruise and absolutely had a blast, and you will as well. Now, this is Mateusz Palace, and on the left is pictured the Mateusz Palace, and a great example of Baroque architecture. It was built in the first half of the 18th century and has an unbelievable expanse of garden space in the back with a forest-like entrance. Its interior decoration includes some intricately carved wood ceilings, 17th and 18th century paintings, silverware, ceramics, and a library with furniture from several different periods. Probably one of the biggest tour highlights for me was our time in Salamanca, Spain, and that's pictured in the middle and right. But Salamanca is a university tour and town with the school dating back to 1218. It was a Roman settlement as well for centuries. And the Plaza Mayor of Salamanca was built between 1729 and 1755. And so this is a main city square of Europe. One of the great features of traveling through Europe is truly the history and rich culture there. You'll enjoy a fantastic city tour featuring the University, Cathedral, Plaza, and Old Quarter. And then lunches included out and about. And as we continue on down the river, we visit Lamego. Lamego is an important piece to Portugal's development. It was the site where the first king was crowned in 1143. And the city's Gothic cathedral was built by the same king prior to his coronation. And you'll enjoy a visit to the overlook of the town from the hilltop. The site features about 686 steps, which are decorated in tiles of blue and white. And the image from below is spectacular as well, if you don't feel like the climb. And then we also visit a town called Guimarães, and it's nicknamed the Cradle of Portugal. Guimarães is a must-see for any visit to northern Portugal, and its city center is noted as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's an example of one of the most well-preserved medieval settlements with a modern town. So just a perception and perspective on this great tour. I mentioned the 3-night extension to Lisbon. So we work our way over to Lisbon for 3 nights at one hotel and get to see Belém Tower, which is one of the many focal points of our time there. And it's a fortified watchtower which was built to protect the harbor. Within Lisbon, you'll also see the Alfama Quarter and its stunning tile work and beautiful buildings. Then we have a full day tour to get to Nazaré, Óbidos, and Fatima. And Nazaré is home to the largest wave in the world. In the right conditions, this beach gets the best surfers to try their hand at 80-foot waves. And Óbidos is a small medieval town. The cobbled streets, whitewashed homes, and dramatic medieval castle draw you into this magical setting of this ancient walled city. So we also include the pilgrimage site of Fatima, and that's incredible esplanade that is 2 times as large as St. Peter's in Rome. The November 4th departure, as I mentioned, has that great value of the single supplement savings of 50% off the single supplement. And that's a big savings if you're looking to travel individually. But great program, 9 days and 20 meals incorporated. Now, one of the booming hotspots in travel these days is Croatia. So we went out and designed this incredible travel opportunity for you. With the filming of Game of Thrones done throughout Croatia, this destination feels familiar to many people. And it's such an exciting hub of travel. Amazing, amazing waterways, not only the coastline, but also the lakes. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But this tour includes 9 nights and 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It departs both October 15th, which is already guaranteed, as well as November 6th. And that'll get to that point as well. And so what we do is we fly in and out of Zagreb, right in the heart of the country, and then work our way up to Slovenia and the town of, or city of, Ljubljana. And from there, we get a city tour and trips out to Lake Bled as well as Postjana. Now, Lake Bled is pictured in the upper right. I'll have a couple of photos there as well in the next couple of slides, but this is a magical lake and beautiful little buildings as well as the castle that we get to visit. Then we work our way down the coast. We head off to Split for 2 nights and Dubrovnik for 2 nights as well. And then I think a highlight is Plitvice Lakes, and that's a national park right in the center of the country we'll spend one night there and get to tour the national park. So fantastic site. And then here's just a quick clip to introduce you to the country of Croatia.
You have to see this video.
When you come to Croatia, you have to visit the city where I have found my love, Dubrovnik.
And you have to visit my Slavonia.
You have to visit our national parks.
You have to taste our food.
And see a concert in this place.
You have to learn the game in the local playground like we did.
And hit the basket on his court in our city, Šibenik.
And visit one of the sunniest coastlines in Europe.
You have to enjoy coffee on any of our squares.
And see the most beautiful Croatian building.
You have to listen to the biggest Croatian musician, the sea organ in Zadar.
And see the great cannon fire off in my city, Zagreb. You will never walk alone on these hiking trails. You have to party all night.
Relax all day.
Skate like this.
Climb like that.
Swim here.
Cycle there.
Sail everywhere. When you want to lift your spirits sky high, you have to come to Croatia. Croatia, full of life.
So with just 2 departure dates, this one will go very quickly, and especially because of these beauties. This incredible set of lakes and waterfalls throughout Plitvice National Parks. And this is a couple of great shots of Lake Bled and the castle up on the hill looking out over the lake itself, but just magical sights. Now, very similar in structure to Croatia is Venice. It's just right across the waterway. And this fantastic program is called Venice and the Italian Lakes. And we work our way into Milan. We'll fly into Milan for one night, getting to stay close to the city center. And from there, we'll do a full city tour, including the Milan Cathedral. It took several centuries to build, and it's absolutely magnificent. From there, we continue on to the La Scala Theater. And then based on availability, we try to get you some tickets to Da Vinci's Last Supper. Again, it's a very popular site, and we can't guarantee it as a group, but we always try to make sure we see if we can get those tickets. As we continue up to the Lakes District, this is one of the most beautiful and scenic stretches in all of Italy, and one of my favorite places to visit. So we stay either in Lake Maggiore or in Lake Como for 5 nights and work our way out to the different lakes around the north. So we start out in those areas, getting to feel the local culture and the small little towns. And then we work out our way over to Switzerland and Lake Lugano. And this is where it's combining multiple cultures, German, Swiss, French, Italian, and it really does create an interesting dynamic there. But beautiful setting with the mountains in the backdrop and the lake there. And then we work our way to the east. We see Lake Orta as well as Lake Iseo, and then off to Venice. And en route, we also incorporate a wine tasting out in the north. As we arrive in Venice, we stay in Venice Mestre, and that's on the outskirts. 3 nights, beautiful stay. And then we'll do a full city tour of Venice, getting to see the bridges and canals, as well as St. Mark's Square. Then from Venice, we also do a full day tour going out to Murano, famous for the glass blowing, as well as Burano. And that's pictured not only in the front image that I had, but the picture in the bottom left corner. These beautiful different colored houses and homes and shops. A great place to grab a gelato. And so wonderful program in all. We head out a couple of different times. The March 13th is no longer available. October 9th and November 6th are. And this is 11 days and a wonderful tour to experience the northern part of Italy. So here's the cathedral on the left side in Milan. Incredible architecture there. And then the La Scala Theater on the right-hand side. And that is home to some of the most famous operas. And then one of the many towns on Lake Como. So just a beautiful setting to travel and spend quite a bit of time in. And of course, into Venice, where we also enjoy a gondola ride. And here is Burano, the number of multiple colored homes and restaurants. So great program all in all. Then it's off to Iceland. And this opportunity features one of the hot spots in travel. So Iceland's been developed as a top 10 destination in the last decade. We head out to see the best of southern Iceland with a stay for 5 nights in Reykjavik. And this is home to many waterfalls and thermal features. An included visit to the Blue Lagoon is always a highlight on this trip, as is the Viking Ship Museum. And Iceland has less than 400,000 people in its population, but home to over 266 museums. So there's some great museums incorporated, like the Skager Folk Museum and the Viking Ship Museum. We'll take you to the Skagafoss waterfall and then do a Golden Circle tour around the south end of the island. And it's a magnificent trip, absolutely beautiful destination. So it offers an abundance of mountains, volcanoes, glaciers, and lakes, and is a warm and welcoming country. But we head off everywhere from June on through September and October. And here's a shot of downtown Reykjavik and their beautiful, beautiful church. And of course, the Blue Lagoon. This is a highlight for a number of folks, as it's a warm and welcoming area and great body of water to soak in. On to our next visit, and that is England, Scotland, and Wales. And you get a chance to visit the British Islands to learn about one of the most powerful monarchies in the entire world, the British Empire. We'll start in the north as we fly into Edinburgh, and I can't tell you how many friends I made in Edinburgh just by pulling up a stool at the bar. The Scottish are some of the most friendly people in the world and have a great sense of humor. On our city tour, we see the Palace of the Holyrood House, and that was home to Mary, Queen of Scots from 1561 to 1567. We'll see Edinburgh Castle with the Scottish crown jewels and enjoy some scotch at the Scotch Whisky Experience, and then stay 2 nights in Edinburgh before crossing into England and visit the cathedral city of York. We also incorporate a visit to Anne Hathaway's cottage and Shakespeare's birthplace in Stratford-upon-Avon. And then you get to enter your third country on this tour, and that is Wales. And that's where we enjoy a Cardiff city tour and National Museum before spending time at the Cardiff Castle. One of the most famous sites in Great Britain is Stonehenge, and with its best known prehistoric stone circle, we spend 2 nights in the city of London, seeing Kensington Palace, the Tower of London, and Trafalgar Square. And you'll be taken on a city tour which features the Westminster Abbey, Big Ben, and if timing permits, the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. So this incredible itinerary hits the main attractions and best of Great Britain. And here's a fun shot of Edinburgh as a city. Beautiful, beautiful location there. And speaking of the British Isles, and a little bit of a variance, is Treasures of Ireland. And this tour features the Emerald Isle in all its glory. So we get to start in Dublin, and that's where we spend 2 nights and take you on a Dublin city tour, complete with the Book of Kells. It's off to the west of Ireland after that. One of my highlights where we see Galway, a major university city, and you'll also visit the Cliffs of Moher along the western coast. We take you down to Killarney after we spend 2 nights in Limerick. Limerick's home of the book Angela's Ashes, so it focused around the potato famine there. Then from Killarney, we'll visit the Ring of Kerry, doing a full day loop around this gorgeous peninsula. And then finally, we work our way back to Dublin and have the opportunity to stay in a castle for a night before departing for home. Now, we offer a 2-night extension on this trip up to Belfast, and that's where you get a chance to learn about the troubles of the 1980s, as well as the home port of the Titanic at the Titanic Museum. And the Giant's Causeway is also a great venture. So a lot of fun features on this tour, heading out from March on through into November, and you can see almost every single departure is guaranteed and close to getting to sold-out status. Now, this is a fun shot of the Ring of Kerry, the beautiful peninsula that juts out into the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, it's a gorgeous drive. As we work our way south, the Tuscan culinary experience combines the best of what Italy has to offer and focuses on the heart of the country amidst the hills of Chianti. And each day you'll drive short distances to each of our sites and unpack once for 7 nights in the center of the Tuscan region. We enjoy a full day of touring in the city of Florence, where our included city tour features the Accademia, and that is home of Michelangelo's David statue. We'll walk next to the Duomo, Florence's cathedral, to learn about the Renaissance with our local guide, and then walk over to the Ponte Vecchio. That's Florence's old bridge and the only bridge remaining since World War II. Then we'll take in the sights and smells in the home of the world's largest outdoor art gallery, right in the center of the city of Florence. And outside of Florence, we incorporate a cooking class to try your hand at homemade pastas. We have a couple of different winery tours. We'll do two styles of wine, Chianti as well as Brunello, and then a dessert wine at certain times of the tour. A lunch is included at a saffron-producing farmhouse near San Gimignano, and visits to both San Gimignano, the town of towers, as well as Siena, home to Il Palio, the horse race. And then we enjoy a 30-minute lake cruise out to Isola Maggiore on Lake Trasimeno. That's where we have lunch, dessert, and coffee at a nice, relaxing pace. Beautiful views and a very small island. And this food and wine experience is really unlike any other. A lot of great features. We also incorporate a gelato tasting in San Gimignano. So as we work our way through, we have about 7 dates. All but one are guaranteed right now. But a lot of great features on this tour, including a cheese tasting. Now, on this program, we'll fly into Portugal and the city of Lisbon, and this is Spain and Portugal highlights. The capital city has so much to offer. It's got a wonderful climate and a beautiful bay and near identical Golden Gate Bridge in its harbor. Alfama is one of Lisbon's oldest and most photogenic communities in the city. And this part of town is home to many churches and museums, so a lot of great features there. And you'll have the afternoon in Lisbon after the city tour to explore on your own before our welcome dinner. In Portuguese, the word fado means fate, but you'll probably know it as the traditional music genre. So fado is connected to nostalgia and yearning for something or someone. That's why most lyrics are about a broken heart and lost sailors at sea. So this is truly a cultural experience you won't forget at our Fado dinner show. We'll visit Evora, and that is home to a gorgeous cathedral and Roman ruins, and then head off to Seville, or Sevilla, as we cross into the border of Spain. Sevilla is home to the 4th largest cathedral in the world, and a blend of culture, politics, and art. We spend 2 nights in Seville, and complete with a city tour and flamenco show. Now, the flamenco is one of Spain's great cultural hallmarks, bringing together 3 elements. That's rhythm, song, and dance. And we enjoy a wonderful dinner with wine as we watch the dancers and musicians. We make our way to Granada. The highlight of that visit is the beautiful Alhambra Palace. Alhambra means Red Castle, and it's an outstanding visit to the palace on the hill. Then a stop in Toledo is included, and that's home to not only marzipan, but also major steel manufacturing. And then 2 nights in the magical city of Madrid. And this is a major cultural capital of Europe. We offer a 2-night extension to Barcelona by high-speed train as well. And this one heads off March 14th and still has space. So please go ahead and take a look at that program. And here is the Alhambra, beautiful palace on the hill surrounded by mountains, and below it the beautiful town. And of course, the metropolitan city of Madrid with its unbelievable architecture. Now, Rome and the country roads of Tuscany is a slightly different version of the culinary program. This 2-hotel stay starts in Tuscany, and that's where we stay in Montecatini. That's northwest of Florence, so a little bit different areas. And we explore the central section of Italy as a whole. Now, Montecatini is known as a spa town, and there are thermal springs feeding the spas from the upper city. You'll visit one of my favorite towns in Italy, and that is Lucca, and it's a magnificent wall built in the 16th century around the entire city. So you can walk or bike all around the wall in your free time there. And it's also home to famous composer Giacomo Puccini. We include a winery visit as well and get to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then enjoy a full day of sights and sounds in the city of Florence, home to the Italian Renaissance. So you have a lot of different variants in there, whether it's the architectural, artistic, or literary Renaissance. You have the choice between a day to explore on your own or take an optional tour out to the coast to the town of Portofino, a beautiful site there. And our visits also include Siena and San Gimignano in the hills of Chianti. As we make our way south for 2 nights, in Rome, we stop in Assisi, and that was home to St. Francis of Assisi. That's where we get a full tour of the basilica and town with time for lunch as well. And our last day includes a Rome city tour, complete with the Vatican museums. So 2 departures in the spring, March 19th and April 16th, and then again in the fall, November 5th. So 2 out of the 3 are already guaranteed. And here is Assisi, a little bit of a variance from the culinary program in that we get to see the south a little bit more into the regions of Umbria and Lazio, and the beautiful cathedral with multiple levels and layers, and the tomb of St. Francis. Then it's down into the southern portion of Italy in Amalfi Coast. So we'll fly in and out of Rome on this tour and work our way down to the Sorrento area for 5 nights. And this is where we call home as we venture along the coastline. We'll do a full day drive down the coast and its beautiful winding curves, and getting to see all the different little towns as we make our way. We'll get to visit Pompeii, and that is a guided tour where we get to see the ruins of both that as well Mount Vesuvius, the famous eruption that took place there. We'll do a cheese tasting in our time in Positano and Ravello, and then also a limoncello tasting. And this is a fantastic treat. It's a lemon liqueur after dinner drink, a great option there. And then a optional tour out to the Isle of Capri, and it's a beautiful site. We take a ferry over, and then in your free time, you can choose to go out and try your hand at the Blue Lagoon. Again, it's weather dependent, so we don't include it, but it's a major site there and great area to visit. As we continue on through the tours, Athens and the Greek Isles, another wonderful Mediterranean climate. So on this program, we work our way for 3 nights in total in Athens, and that's the historical capital of Europe. Its climate is superb with the legendary Greek sunlight overlooking the sea. And we see the Parthenon and the Acropolis on our city tour, along with many other sites like the Olympic Stadium. The Acropolis Museum has a glass floor, which you can see a current archaeological dig going on. Then it's off by high-speed ferry to Mykonos and Santorini for 2 nights each. We'll visit Delos, which is an island with incredible sights and ongoing archaeological excavation, and we include a wine tasting on Santorini with this tour. You'll also tour the town of Ia, and at the end, we also offer a 3-night extension to the north mainland of Greece, and that is Delphi and Kalimbaka. So that extension takes you to Meteora, which is the site of numerous monasteries on sandstone pillars in the valley. And we have a couple of different departures. 2 of them are in April and 1 October 8th. And this is the beautiful area of Little Venice. So the Venetian Republic had control over the islands of Greece at a certain point in time. And so very much Italian style culture in some of the parts. But this is a wonderful place to sit out, have dinner, looking out over the Aegean Sea, and also catching the sunset. Alpine Swiss Villages is a very unique and charming itinerary. It focuses on the smaller villages and takes you out of the big cities, so you can see how the Swiss truly live close to their original customs. The Swiss Confederation was formed in 1291 and has held firm as several cantons or regions combining for the good of all. We start in Zurich on arrival, and soon we're off to a more localized feel. We stop in Bern to see the famous clock and visit the city. And then it's off to Lauterbrunnen, and that's where we take the Cogway to Wengen, which is a small Swiss village in the Alps. And actually, they just had a major ski event up in Wengen just this last weekend. So we stay 6 nights in this beautiful town, and each day take different modes of transportation, with the Swiss transportation system being so fluid and organized. This is unlike any other tour you've done. Our visits include the base towns of Alpine mountains like Grindelwald and Gimmelwald. Grindelwald sits at the base of the Eiger, and that's a peak in the Alps for the strongest mountain climbers at over 13,000 feet. We enjoy a lake cruise on Lake Brienz and time in Interlaken as well, but Lucerne is one of my highlights on this program with its beautiful waterway and amazing chapel bridge. This one heads out throughout July and into August as well. A number of the dates are sold out, so please reach out to us, call us by phone, and we can get you all set up. And last but not least on our tour itineraries is the best of Australia and New Zealand. And this is a huge demand for this part of the world. For many years, the last couple of years, this area was closed as COVID kind of locked it down. But they're open again. Our first departure is February 19th. That's already sold out. And the March departure is not far behind it, as it's already filling up and has limited space. But March 11th is guaranteed. We anticipate October 21st getting there as well, as we already have several passengers booked. Now, while we're experiencing what Californians call cold, Australia and New Zealand are enjoying a great summer in the Southern Hemisphere. And this is a very complete tour, because if you're traveling that far, we want it to be worth your while, and it definitely is. So Sydney, we spend 3 nights, and that's where we get to see the Opera House, both inside as well as out, the Botanical Garden, and much, much more in the Harbor City. Cairn, we spend 3 nights with the Great Barrier Reef, and there's a lot of different options as we spend our time there. You can snorkel, you can go on a nature walk, and so much more. And then it's down into Melbourne with its cultural capital, making an excellent experience in the eastern part of Australia. As we continue on, we head off to my highlight, which is the South Island of New Zealand. And it's a beautiful stretch with 3 nights in Queenstown and a visit to Milford Sound. Now, we'll take you out on a cruise through the Sound and getting a chance to see some of the great waterfalls and much more. And as we continue, we're up to the North Island. That's where we get more of the cultural aspect with the Maori people and the movie set of The Lord of the Rings with Hobbiton. And this is a great trip, 17 days in length and 24 meals included, but a lot of great features, including the National Kiwi Hatchery. But this one takes off a couple of times this year. And here's Milford Sound, beautiful sights, mountains surrounding you, and then the incredible waterfalls as well. Now, we partner with a number of cruise companies, and if you're looking for an American river cruise experience, you can ask one of our staff about the American Queen steamboats. And these take you along the Mississippi or Columbia rivers, as well a little bit into the Snake River. Now, the Columbia River is an incredible stretch that Lewis and Clark took for their final stretch to the Pacific. And with the Mississippi, you can do it in different segments or the entire length. So a lot of great options. Fun dining experiences on board the ship as well. And this beautiful cruise takes you up and down these magnificent American rivers. Now, we also work with several ocean cruise companies, which have partnered with us to provide cruises all around the world to our travelers. Take a look at some of the repositioning cruises, which offer a great value. Some of them run about 20 days or more, and can cost under $2,000 per person. And the primary reason for that is they're making their way from one destination to the next for the next season. So one of my most memorable cruises was a 37-day trip to Australia and New Zealand by ship. We saw Hawaii, Samoa, Tonga, and New Caledonia, which at about 23 years of age, I had never heard of before. And it's an outstanding French colony in the South Pacific, both with large inhabited cities as well as small cultural individual islands. And so we don't do as many guided cruises on these ships, but these are some incredible values. And for those with limited mobility, they're a great option with elevators and accessible cabins. But some really great savings and discounted rates, as I mentioned, for those repositioning cruises. In concluding the show, we like to provide a savings to our travelers. And for those attending the show, a reduced deposit for 2024 tours or European river cruises locks in your tour spot and pricing. That is a $199 low-cost deposit. So $199 saves your spot and your price. Normally, deposits run between $400 and $600. So when you book your deposit with your travel protection, you get a reduced deposit of $199. We also take $20 off your travel protection plan if you pay for it with your deposit. So that's a great savings there. And then I mentioned our early booking savings, and you can save up to $200 on our European river cruises and up to $100 on most domestic and international tours. And that extends to more travelers now. You just need to pay by check for your final payment. So again, pay by check at your final payment date, and you're incorporated with those early booking savings for those different departures. We're also offering a one cabin category upgrade on either of our Douro or our Christmas markets cruise. Again, those are fairly limited in terms of the space available on board, but please book these early as they are going quick. But that can save you between $200 and $400 per person. I generally recommend booking a lower category of a C or B and getting upgraded to the next above it. Better space, better location on the ship, and a little bit more comfort. So great ways to save and really maximize your experience on these. So as we work our way through, you just need to book by Friday, January 26th for these savings to apply, and use the code ABROAD24. And how you can book, you can call our reservations team at 1-800-369-3693. You can email Joe, Holly, April, or Samantha at afctours.com. And also visit our brand new updated website at afcvacations.com and check out the forms segment. But great options and fantastic tours available to you. Make the call today as people are booking up. This is the time that people are booking their travel for the year. So don't wait if you're interested. From the AFC family, we want to thank you for attending the show. We really appreciate your time and try to keep it minimized so we don't take up too much of it. But we want to get you the information as there's so many great tours available to you. But if you do have any questions, feedback about the show or new show ideas, you can email April at afctours.com. And we hope to see you soon out on the road and traveling with us. Thank you again and have a wonderful day.